Have you ever heard about the Bermuda Triangle? Well, today we're going to talk about it. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the world's greatest mysteries. And though there have been plenty of theories put forward over the years, none of them can explain all of the bizarre things that have happened in this one strange region of the ocean. The Bermuda Triangle is a region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean where planes and boats are reported to mysteriously vanish. This area is roughly bound by Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. The exact boundaries of the triangle are somewhat flexible, but the region is usually considered to be the western end of the North Atlantic, subtropical gyre, and the eastern end of the Gulf Stream. There are countless reports of ships and planes disappearing within the Bermuda Triangle, with many of these incidents being completely without explanation. The United States Board of Geographic Names officially recognized the Bermuda Triangle in 1964, although the region had already earned its reputation as a mysterious anomaly long before then. There have been hundreds of cases of vessels and aircraft vanishing within the Bermuda Triangle, with many of these cases remaining unsolved to this day. In December of 1948, Flight 19, a group of 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers disappeared somewhere over the Caribbean Sea. The planes were on a training mission when they vanished without a trace. Their last known position was just 80 miles off the coast of Florida, which is well outside of the traditional boundaries of the Bermuda Triangle. But this case is included in the mystery because it demonstrates how even experienced pilots and modern military aircraft can go missing. Another unexplained disappearance happened in 1954. A year earlier, a group of 4 friends from Austin, Texas decided to take a weekend trip to the Bahamas. They chartered a plane and flew to the Bahamas, where they enjoyed themselves for a few days. On their way home, the pilot apparently got lost. Despite having flown the route many times before, the plane went off course and crashed into the sea. All 4 passengers died. Although the wreckage was never recovered and no sign of the crash was ever found, this incident was later attributed to pilot error. However, many believe that the pilot was actually the victim of foul play. Perhaps the most famous Bermuda Triangle mystery is the disappearance of the USS Cyclops. The Cyclops was a collier ship that was tasked with transporting manganese ore from Brazil to Baltimore, Maryland. The ship left Salvador, Brazil on March 1918 and was expected to arrive in Baltimore on March, but the Cyclops never arrived. On March, the U.S. Navy declared the ship overdue and began searching for it. No sign of the Cyclops was found until almost a year later, when an oil-covered lifeboat was discovered near the Bahamas. It was determined that the lifeboat was from the Cyclops, but the ship itself and its crew were never found. One theory is that the Cyclops struck a German mine while sailing through the Bermuda Triangle, but this has never been confirmed. Not all disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle are maritime. In December of 1970, 2 pilots took off from Puerto Rico in a small plane. Their destination was the nearby island of Antigua, but after they disappeared, nobody saw them alive again. The plane was found on the bottom of the ocean, not far from the coast of Antigua, but the pilots were nowhere to be seen. There was no sign of struggle, and nothing appeared to be out of the ordinary. Some believe that the pilots were victims of a sudden psychotic episode, while others attribute their disappearance to foul play. One of the most unbelievable Bermuda Triangle mysteries involves an entire fleet of ships. In January of 1840, 5 ships left New York City and set sail for the port of Charleston. Only one of the ships made it to Charleston. The rest simply vanished. Theories range from piracy to mutiny to spontaneous human combustion, but nobody knows what happened to the ships or their crews. Another mysterious event occurred in February of 1913. A captain and his wife were sailing their yacht from New York to Bermuda when their vessel sprang a leak and began to sink. The couple sent a distress signal, but before help could arrive, they had vanished. The only thing that was found was their lifeboat. Some people attribute their disappearance to foul play, while others say that the couple simply became disoriented and ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time. In January of 1945, 25 people boarded a U.S. Army transport plane and took off from Miami. Their destination was the nearby island of Georgetown. The plane disappeared somewhere over the Caribbean, leaving 25 people dead. Some believe that bad weather caused the plane to crash, while others think that enemy forces shot it down. The disappearance of Star Tiger in January of 1948 remains a complete mystery to this day. The plane took off from Lisbon, Portugal, with 25 people on board. The flight was supposed to take less than 3 hours, but the plane never arrived. The wreckage was eventually found in the sea, but there was no sign of the crew or the passengers. Some believe that rough seas caused the plane to crash, while others think that pilot error was to blame. A plane that went missing in April of 1949 had some strange circumstances surrounding its disappearance. Captain James G. Keeney and his 6 passengers took off from Puerto Rico and were scheduled to arrive in Florida a few hours later. But the plane never arrived. A search party was organized to find the plane, but it was never located. 5 months after the plane went missing, the wreckage was discovered on the bottom of the ocean, but there was no sign of the crew or the passengers. Some believe that the plane was hijacked, while others think that it simply ran out of fuel. Another plane that went missing in the Bermuda Triangle in May of 1953 was carrying 7 people when it vanished from radar. The pilot had reported engine trouble shortly before the plane went off course and headed straight toward the ocean. It's believed that the pilot tried to make an emergency landing, but something went wrong and the plane crashed into the water, but this is only speculation. There is no evidence that a plane crash occurred. While many believe that the Bermuda Triangle is cursed, this hasn't stopped people from trying to find out what happened to the ships and planes that went missing there. Researchers from the University of West Florida used sonar to map the bottom of the ocean in the Bermuda Triangle. Using this technology, they found more than 20 shipwrecks in the area. They also discovered an area that may have been caused by a violent storm or a meteorite impact. But they don't believe that either of these factors could account for all of the disappearances. Other researchers believe that magnetic anomalies in the area could be responsible for some of the incidents. They point to a region called the Magnetic Anomaly Belt, which stretches from the Bahamas to the west coast of Africa. Within this region, the Earth's magnetic field is disrupted, causing compasses to spin wildly and electronic equipment to malfunction. If the theories are correct, this could explain why so many ships and planes have gone off course within the Bermuda Triangle. What do you think? Is the Bermuda Triangle really dangerous, or is it just a myth? Let us know your thoughts. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment below with your opinion on one of the strangest places in the world. And while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We've still got plenty more videos to come, so don't miss out. Now, here's another interesting topic that you might want to explore further. With that said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.